Welcome to Project DieHard Mission Monday update. It's Monday night. It's time for our weekly event here to begin. We are here every Monday at 6:30 to give you all
All right, folks. Sue is going to be hanging out, popping in and out because she is traveling. This is how dedicated she is. She's sitting in a McDonald's parking lot on McDonald's Wi-Fi. This is an amazing thing. These people are outstanding. Look, who else I found? Who's going to be with us the whole show? Sue will hop in as we go through. First thing I got to say to everybody who is joining us today and everybody who's going to see this on the repeat is thank you and God bless for 2024. We did some great things in 2024. I can't be disappointed in what we've done. A little disappointed we didn't get as far as we needed to get, but let's dive into it as we come into 2025. I think I've finally boiled this down to, and don't take offense to this, crayon eaters, but I think you could even understand it. Marines, Kurt. All right. We're going to do this. No, I can't because no one can see the whole slide, can they? Who's ever watching, let us know if you can see the whole slide because I'm only seeing a quarter of it. Let's go here then. Ah, there you go. Wrong button. See, Sue is the technician. I'm not, guys. All right, here it is. First and foremost, remember, God is great all the time. And that teamwork makes the dream work. Together, everyone accomplishes more. Our website has been updated, projectdiehard.org. Take a look, right? Well, down this mission, we are bringing hope by the power of the Holy Spirit, building facilities to grow the kingdom and the veteran community. We are bringing hope to heroes and saving veterans' lives. Only the best will do for those we serve. So let's start about how do we do this? First thing is the fellowship breakfast. It gives heroes fellowship support and a free meal. Kurt, you want to add anything? Feel free to dive in here.
I'm troubleshooting my device.
All right, he's troubleshooting, so we'll just carry on.
Breakfast.
Okay. A beacon of hope facilities. Our facilities provides veterans hope with skill training, counseling, and transitional housing. This is all done by our community support program, our ministry and resource partners, mission and facility suppliers. These are supported with our volunteers and our patrons. So, which one are you? Bink. And I think, yeah, there she is. So it rolls down to, which one are you? Are you a volunteer? Are you going to give your time, talent, experience, knowledge? Like Sue there sitting in a McDonald's parking lot on McDonald's Wi-Fi. Or, go ahead, Sue.
I actually had to switch. The Wi-Fi is failing me, so I am now using my hotspot. So hopefully that stays connected. You know what? We do what we can, right? I'm here. Woo!
That's it. Well, you know what? I don't mind repeating myself. You're here now. I won't go through the whole thing, but let's talk about outreach programs. The fellowship breakfast. This is how we bring hope to veterans. Right, guys? That's what we do.
That's what we do.
Okay. Then facilities. Those provide veterans hope, skill training, counseling, transitional housing. Those two things are what we do. This is done by the support of our ministry resource partners. Third Day Coffee Seguin, Maxwell Soaps, Blue Dragonfly websites, Frago 22. God, go to our website, folks. You can see all of them there, and they are hyperlinked to their websites. So the more you support them, the more they do for our mission. And we support them through our volunteers and patrons. That's the nutshell. Is it pretty simple, folks?
I would say so.
It's incredibly simple.
That's the one thing
You help us, we help you.
Again, that's the one thing I love about my team. They love my stance of keep it simple, stupid. Okay. So we do an annual fundraiser, just like every other nonprofit out there. That is our Fill the Can Challenge. That runs from Memorial Day to Independence Day. In-person and virtual cans are available. If you win the trophy, we'll bring it to you. And then Hope Stock is our annual celebration of mission successes. It's the last weekend in July at all PDH facilities. I don't know. Can I make it any easier?
Stock is huge. I am so excited to hear all the details that will be coming down the pipe here real soon on the fun that will be had, the experiences that will be had. Oh my gosh. I know you've told stories of past, and I think those will speak loudly to anyone who's interested in knowing more about what is Hope Stock.
Yes.
Why
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Yeah. Look, you can go to our YouTube channel and look up Hope Stock. Yeah. 2025 is shaping up. But this is what we do and how we do it. Look, folks, we have been reviewed, measured, and found worthy of Dallas-Fort Worth, Gold Star, VSV, SICF, Santa Papa John. Aren't we worth your support?
All are invited.
Everybody. We're going to highlight the fellowship breakfast because that's our current push, right? Of what we can do. Yes, we have Bob Rush, but this fellowship breakfast, we work with the resources we are blessed with. Debbie Hayes has stepped up more than once, all the way from Arizona, supporting veterans in Kentucky. Why should only Debbie help? It is the first Wednesday of the month from 0700 to 0930. Our current location is 2861 James Sanders Boulevard, Paducah, Kentucky. Of course, forward operating base Rush must have a fellowship breakfast. But that rolls back down to volunteers and patrons. Phoenix, Arizona, and Delaware, Ohio are standing by to start their breakfast. When I say we're putting a facility in every state, we are. When I say we're moving the fellowship breakfast nationwide, that's how it works. All right? We need more volunteers, and patrons are required to expand just that program. 485 veterans for 2024. My question is, what will 2025 be? I know the Paducah one will go on.
We need to max out those IHOP locations.
We do. I'm in full agreement.
And we can take on other restaurants as well.
Yeah. But, folks, there's 3 of us on the screen. There's some more behind the scenes. We need your help. We can't do it all. Don't tell us do more. Help us do more.
So, Brian, why don't you get into the story of how, IHOP in Paducah got started? What was that conversation like? How did the offer come to be? Describe it so that we also know with what Debbie's doing, like how easy it is to set up these breakfasts.
Well, our fellowship breakfast started in 2019. That's when we first started this thing. And we were doing it at another restaurant that really didn't do breakfast, right? We were doing the breakfast at the restaurant that really didn't do breakfast. They were doing a special thing for us. Well, then COVID hit, right? And if you wanted to go out and eat, you were up creek. Well, 2022, we actually brought it back. And how it started at the IHOP. A waitress there, which if you come, you get to meet her because she's there every fellowship breakfast doing her part for heroes with a smile and a thing, overheard a discussion about the fellowship breakfast. Okay, ready to bring it back, but we need to have a location, right? She in turn put me in contact with her manager. Cool. And we talked. She loved the idea. She took it up to her district manager. We talked. They loved the idea. They said, yep. And then we hammered out all the particulars. We have a special menu with special pricing. IHOP's doing their part. Don't ask them to do any more. They're doing their part. And the date and time was set. It's pretty simple. They give us a little room in the back that can hold 40 people. We haven't maxed it out yet, but I have big hopes for 2025. The whole restaurant can hold 500. That would be great if we could get 500 veterans in there on one Wednesday morning. That would, But yeah, that's how it started. And that's, as I said, that's the one event, one fellowship breakfast I know that will happen as long as there's a breath in me. Because I may be the founder and president, but I don't take a paycheck. So technically, I'm just the head volunteer.
Yeah. And the part that, strikes me about the story is at the beginning of it when you said the waitress overheard a conversation. So that's where if people, we run the risk of being entertainment. We run the risk that, oh, great job, Sue, Brian, and Kurt, and Dave, and Debbie, and, Santa Papa John. Good job. You guys are doing great work. And then we get the applause, which is great. It's great to have that. But I think being a part of the team, we are coming into this live stream and we do what we do, like when I do networking and so forth. Our objective is to see if we can help those of you that are watching and listening to us play a role. So just being a walking, talking billboard is helpful. Asking if people have heard about Project DieHard. And when we show these reviews, to say, hey, I learned a veteran service organization actually runs a breakfast and they're, looking for new locations. We're seeing on here Phoenix, Arizona, and Delaware, Ohio. So Delaware, Ohio is, from Dave on our team, and we got Debbie, who's been a very devoted patron, and they're just learning enough to say, I think I'm ready to start one of these things and to work with the team to do it together. Teamwork makes the dream work, which the dream is to have one of these breakfasts post haste in every state around the country. So if you're listening from some other state that you're not hearing about in this show, we want you. We want you to work with us. How can we get in your state? Right?
Again, That's it. I'm in conversations throughout the week, and everybody asks, how come I don't release funds to pay for advertising? My answer to that is I'd rather buy more breakfast.
Yeah, and I think people can see how we're advertising the breakfast. So people's concern, they can't be claiming we're not doing advertising. We're doing enough advertising that we're getting our veterans at the breakfast, which is the whole point, right?
Yeah.
And then we're working with IHOP. We have shown the banner before that the banner goes out at IHOP. That banner goes out every month, or do they keep it up?
It's up there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
That is great advertising.
That is great advertising for us and IHOP, because it shows they care about veterans.
Yeah, so that's what I see here is, we run the risk of being entertainment, like, oh, that's nice, but it's like, we're setting the example. These are things that we work with what we have. We work with the blessings that we have with what is provided at the moment. And, the idea is that can grow, that as people prey upon their potential role with Project DieHard, they could take this idea and model it pretty much the same of what we're showing, or maybe we're sparking a new idea that we need to hear about. So whatever's going on in your minds out there, please let us know. Right?
We go to the next one.
Yep.
All right, guys, you have questions, right? Everybody watching this, you have questions. My team convinced me to open the book, whatever you want to call it. So January 6th at 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, we are holding a Zoom meeting. My team is going to be there. I'm going to give a short little brief of who, what, when, where, how, why, and then we're going to do breakout rooms. So if you're interested in ministry, you're going to go to this room. If you're interested in community, you're going to go to this room. Resource, this one. Marketing, this one. You see, folks, I'm not the expert. I got people for that. You want to know why I started this mission? You want to know the ins and outs of me? Join us on the 6th. I'm a pretty open book, but got to do this thing. Any comments on that, folks?
Well, I just have this weird feeling that I'm slow on the uptake because I see we're going to be with DieHard 6 on January 6th. Did you design it that way, or am I just catching on?
I didn't design it that way.
It's pretty fun to look at it, though.
You guys beat me up.
There we go.
And I look at my 5 calendars and said this had to happen. So that was the date. After that event, on the 7th, I got to be up in Marion, Illinois. Then on the 10th, I got to be on Fort Campbell. And then the 11th, we're hanging out down in Nashville where I'm meeting with a couple folks. And on the 12th, we're going to go visit our ministry partner, Global Vision Bible Church. That's just my calendars.
Yeah. So, but one way or another, things fall into place. And, this is really a great opportunity for everybody out there because, nonprofit business is a fickle business. And, we're talking volunteering, partnering, ministry, all the different components. And like I say, the mantra here is teamwork makes the dream work. And it's really how you look at a way to help our mission. It would be to come ask questions. It's not always like there's a saying I heard this past year. There's a group that's kind of says, once in a while, or you go to things a lot because you need the meeting. You're going to the meeting because it fits into what you need to do. You need the meeting. But then they said, and sometimes the meeting needs you. So it's like, even if you don't feel like showing up, or you're not really sure what it's doing for you, show up at the meeting to help others, to be a part of contributing.
Again, with our meetings we have throughout the week within the team, we don't always just dive down into diehard stuff. We talk about life. We talk about this. We talk about that. What was it this morning, guys? Our teammate. Her mother went on to the kingdom last night. That's been the big discussion within DieHard today. How are we supporting this teammate? You see, that's part of the team, is supporting one another.
Yeah, so Sue, you and I get to meet with Brian just about every week if we show up, And Sue, you've had questions along the way for Brian. We meet with him every week, right?
We meet every week, getting ready for this, discussing what are we going to do and who's coming and what's the hot topic. Absolutely.
Yeah, so the idea is if we're involved and we've gone through all the ins and outs to Project DieHard pretty thoroughly, and we have our questions and that's why Brian is with us every week to make sure Kurt and Sue aren't sitting there stuck on any questions. He's there available to us. That's where this idea is so much, saying we must do it is if we've got questions, we can only imagine the questions you all have out there. And what a great opportunity. I've been with Brian for 2 years, over 2 years, and this has never been done before. What a great opportunity. This is fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, well, you guys are the one that convinced me to do it. I'm happy with the podcast, but I got it. People deserve more in-depth answers.
Yeah, and it all fits together because by doing this event, there might be some people that find out about the event elsewhere aside from the podcast, and then through their questions and the Q&A and what's all being reviewed, all of a sudden they're like, really, you guys got a podcast? Then we get some more listeners on the podcast, and same thing, folks on the podcast are learning about the event, then they're learning about our Hope Stock event, they're learning about how the partnerships work, and they might get inspired to something else. And as a group, like I say, to me, I think this is a great format with the Q&A, the answer session, because it can spur creative ideas where we might be left with something as a team from those that are asking the questions, and it becomes something that we have to organize to help somebody out there being inspired to help the mission in a way we haven't thought of. Like I just said, we've never done an answer session before. We're doing that now. And to me, this keeps going like that. Teamwork makes the dream work. It takes all of our heads to come together and get that mouth flapping, so that we can know what's on your mind. Because what's on your mind could be what saves the life of another veteran.
So true.
I think And that's a key piece here. What is the whole purpose of Project DieHard? It is about the lives of our veterans. You know, that losing one is too many. So that is the key piece here that I want to make sure people remember why we're here. It is about providing hope. It is about being there. It's needed. I hate to say it, but it really is needed. I know Brian was sharing how many people he personally is aware of, how many of our veterans that we've lost.
Let's bring that up to check the vet, right? The holiday spike. As of Saturday, the Saturday after Christmas, I personally was informed of 27 veterans that lost their fight to the demon between Thanksgiving and Christmas Day. On Christmas Day, I was notified that one of my teammates that I served with lost their fight to the demon.
Yeah, that is something to really, really grab onto. Like, Brian, I mean, I could not imagine, and maybe you're slowly going to be training me how to, if this gets to be the point where I get to get notified of, 27 veterans personally. And I mean, I won't have that situation of, hey, one of them served with me, because I never served. But I think, again, that brings us back to the answer session. Is I think one of the things we're working through together is we're trying to help our American citizens understand that there is definitely something every U.S. citizen can do in this crusade to save all our veterans. And I think that's what we're dealing with as a country, is that we think that the Veteran Affairs has it all handled. We're thinking that the Department of Defense has it all handled. The churches have it all handled. Where, the Project DieHard has it all handled. And I think that's where Sue and I come into this so passionately, is this has really shaped our journey to say that this is not an issue that you say, oh, Brian, 2 years ago, 2022, nice to meet you, Brian, good luck. No, when you heard what you're doing, Brian, it's like, we are on board. We get it that the veterans need us, and there's no other way. All of you citizens out there and all of you veterans, we all need to do this together, vets, non-vets, however we come together, we all need to come together as U.S. citizens saying our veterans deserve to live. I was in a show and then another meeting in December. I found myself in one meeting and on another show saying, basically, if you hear what we're saying and then you just kind of move on and you don't join up with us here at Project DieHard, you're basically saying, no, it's okay. 27 vets, Thanksgiving to Saturday last weekend, yeah, that's just the way the world works. Just kind of what's going to happen. And I don't think anybody's trying to say that. So that's where this, answer session is so key, because we don't do what we're confused about. If there's something where it's left to question, it's left alone. The veterans aren't going to get your help because you have that question you haven't asked. You haven't gotten the answer from us, how it connects for you. And that's what we're here for. Whether you can make this answer session or not, this is what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure you understand that we are recruiting you to do something: pray, volunteer, donate, share what we're talking about. Like, have that conversation with that waitress. It took saying Project DieHard, this and that, the breakfast, this and that. She heard it And it's like, boom, her brain triggered. Bam. What about it? Tell me more. And then she got empowered to make the IHOP thing what it is today. So we need people to be walking, talking billboards, if nothing else, right?
Yeah. Brother, I think I've been saying that since day one. It's join the team. Together, we're going to do more. My 3 rules. God will never leave the mission. Don't ask. We will never use the suffering of veterans to profit. And there's no drugs or alcohol allowed in the mission. If you can meet those standards, join the team.
Now, Sue, you and I were talking earlier. We were in a conversation about, Project DieHard and other things we're doing. And I was trying to take a look at what we've been doing, Project DieHard and everything for 2024. And I brought the conversation to really take it to a whole new level with you, Sue, wasn't I? About, how does this really grab your soul? Where is it with your heart? And logistically, with all the stuff we do as a family, and how do we make it all work? And what is your intention with that, Sue, right? And it was a very interesting, and I don't want to say challenging conversation, but it was remarkable to say the least, right, Sue? That it got us talking in a way that, in the decades past, we're kind of refining, how we're making stuff happen. Right, Sue? And I think I'm bringing it up because, Sue, I think you can make a comment here about how you could easily do nothing with Project DieHard, but you are, and you make everything else work around what needs to be done for our veterans. You want to comment to that?
Yeah, because we are a busy family. We have a lot of things coming our way, and some things get pushed off a little bit because there's only so many minutes in a day. There's only so much we can do. But yeah, this is something. If you look back at the last year, we've been here every Monday night for a reason. I think I can count on one hand, even half of a hand, how many Monday nights I've missed due to other things that have happened in life, right? There's a reason we're here. We need more of us on this team. This should be a massive team. We need to grow. We need to do more. And with a small team, we can only do so much. Imagine what we can do as we grow. We need more people helping out and doing all these things with us, because one is too many. And y'all just heard it with me, 27, just that we're aware of, that Brian was notified of, that we lost in this short time here between the holidays. It still makes my head spin. It's not okay.
Yeah. And I was on a conversation earlier, and in the last few days, I've been with somebody that's with an organization I'm working on building an alignment between their organization and us here at Project DieHard. Well, this gentleman that is one of the key leaders of the other group, he lost his father. Now, it's not in our mission here of losing a veteran to suicide, but his father passed away. And talking about what he's dealing with, and just in team development, I just was trying to get a sense. We never talked about your father. First thing I learned about your father is that he passed away. Tell me about your father. What he told me was, the key point I took away from it is his father, apparently from this conversation, the way I took it, is he was a guy, or let's just call him a person. He was a person who had a definite love for other people, and he showed his love for everybody, and he lived every day in that love. And, so I find that it's amazing how life works when, we're trying to solve an issue, a big issue here. The numbers we're dealing with on veteran suicide, it can get intimidating and it can be defeating to just say one person out there, one of you out there is not going to make a difference. But just imagine if we as a country could really rally here and show all of our U.S. veterans the love that we as U.S. citizens have. And I made a comment in a meeting, in the past week about, I learned this with disability advocacy, because actually with the water skiing Sue and I do, we actually got into it to help people with disabilities water ski. And then I learned, hey, of course, our injured and wounded veterans are showing up for this adaptive water skiing. And but with people with disabilities, I was like, yeah, I always felt like I'm a do-gooder. I always try to do good. I try to do my part. But I started to realize, the advocates started to make me realize that I was doing it occasionally, few and far between. And I started to realize that I need to make it an everyday thing, to show the disability community that they have a place in my life every day. And just this last week, I correlated that to the veteran community. We can show our love for veterans, which is great. Let's keep doing it. Memorial Day, Veterans Day, Patriots Day, whatever it is, all of our opportunities that we have routinely in a year to show our love for veterans. But what about the idea of opening up that place in our heart, that love for other people, and to have a specific way we do that for the veteran community every day of our lives? That is something that has come into my life thanks to people with disabilities in the last decade. And I think it applies here. Because when we think about how we're going through the journey of life, we decide our legacy. We decide, like I asked this gentleman, what was your dad like? And then he told me. And just think of it. You have the opportunity to say you're a person that has love for veterans every day. And if there's anything you can do about it, you will. You'll consider what you can do every day. I used to be an EMT, and I talked about earlier today, like I think about all the people that I took to the ER room in the ambulance, and to think of that effect I had to get them the care that they need. But I looked at, if we want to save lives, I can do more here at Project DieHard than I could on the ambulance. Because sometimes on the ambulance, you're just kind of giving, some care. So yeah, they can be served by the ER, but it's not life or death. I'm here because this is life or death. What is anything we have to offer another person, including our love, if we lose them to the demons?
Well said, brother. Well said. Yeah, look, folks, I was a medic. Today is what? The 29th, right? Am I right on that?
Today's the 30th.
Today's the 30th. Okay. My bad. I hate holidays. Okay, guys, look. Okay. December 28th, 1990. I was in a marshalling yard in Saudi Arabia. We landed on Christmas Eve. And that day I lost my first patient ever in my life. I don't remember and don't really care how many I ever saved. But I do remember everyone I ever lost. It's not about heroism. It's not about beating my chest. Never has been, never will be in my life. But we're beating this up. Let's go to a way people can help. Here we go. All praise to God for this blessing. And with prayer, discussion, advice to best serve this mission, this land we got donated to us in Trigg County, we're going to auction off. This is why we need your help. Spread the mission. We're still working on a few things, like where we're going to host it, because you can't go to the land. The roads are really skinny. Not enough people will show up for that. But this happening at the beginning of 2025, I know is going to benefit the mission down the road.
That's amazing. And there's so many good things in there. Whoever donated this, thank you. That's amazing. What a great opportunity.
All I can say is that they are a veteran and they do not want to be recognized.
So, Brian, can you comment a little bit in terms of, this land is being auctioned? It was donated to Project DieHard, so there's some sort of commercial zoning on the
No,
or it's residential only?
residential.
Okay.
It's just not big enough for what we need. It's maybe 2 acres. I got 20 I got to worry about right now.
The right person is out there that this would be so perfect for them. So, oh my gosh, take a look at this, find out more. Come on Monday, ask questions, find out more about what this is and how this could be. Oh my gosh, such a win-win.
It's a charity auction, so you bid, you win, you're making a donation to a nonprofit. Yeah, it's a win-win.
Yeah, and another thing to consider when we're doing these shows and you're seeing a graphic like this or a display, everybody out there can go to our Facebook page for Project DieHard, our Facebook page, and go through the image area of our Facebook page, and you can see this. So if you're inclined to share this out to people who might want to participate in this auction, consider our Facebook page as one way to do it. And for sure, if they want to comb through the video with your help on, that this was shown, 50 minutes into the show, they can grab it out of the YouTube video or any of the videos as well. But the image area of our Facebook page might be a convenient way to share this out so people participate in our auction.
Oh, yeah. Look, folks. Facebook is the primary way we communicate out. We have what? Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
Yep.
That little, those other little things, I'm not sure what they call X and whatever nowadays. Volunteer. If you're really good on that stuff, volunteer. I'm old. I barely understand Facebook. I first got into LinkedIn because the Army said I had to have a LinkedIn page. Yeah, during retirement, they make you make a LinkedIn account.
I just saw a
That's a good
message.
thing.
We just got a Santagram. Santa wants to chime in with us here, so we might be seeing Santa for our closing remarks here. We'll see if he can make it in here in time.
I need to ask Santa for a better connection. It's been a wonky one for me on this ride.
Yeah, ask him if he's got Santa streaming, high-speed streaming connection.
Well, go ahead.
I was just going to ask Sue, Sue, this is the last show we're going to do for 2024. What's on your mind as you think about what we've accomplished as ambassadors of Project DieHard and, kind of what we're hopped onto as a bandwagon here, this great work being done by the team? What are your thoughts for 2024 as Ambassador Sue Ruskoff?
I'm hoping this comes through okay because you guys are breaking up pretty badly. But I gotta say, this year, I have learned so much. I have such a massive appreciation for our veterans, what they do for all. I mean, how many of us actually take a moment, even think about what our veterans do for each of us? And did we ask? No. I mean, there's all of these wonderful people who just step up and do what they do for our benefit, for all of our benefit. At some point, we each need to take a moment and acknowledge that, say thank you, we appreciate you, and what can I do to help make a difference? What can I do? That's something we all need to ask ourselves is, what can I do? Because we can all do something. Whether you want to do something for an hour ever, or an hour a month, an hour a week, what is it that you can do to make it doesn't take much to make a difference. It takes just doing something. And that starts with a decision. Decide now that I'm going to do something. I can. How hard is it to do that? You can start out by next Monday on the 6th to come and join us at 10 a.m. Central and find out more. So easy to come and just find out more. Ask some questions. Meet us. We're not just a face on a screen. Come and say hi. Love to have you there.
Hey, I know a guy with questions. Santa made it. Santa wants to come on.
Santa! I know him!
Santa, you've got garbled audio. You got to try your audio all over because, you sound like Santa Droid. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Santa Droid. So work on that audio, Santa.
Well, while he's working on that, Andrea, thank you and God bless.
How's that sound? Does that sound better now?
Yep.
Oh my goodness gracious! You sound like a rock star. You're gonna be singing.
Hang on, I'll even be nice here too.
You're gonna be nice.
How's it? You know, guys, we really got to figure out a way to publicize these links, because I've been looking for 20 minutes and sending messages for 20 minutes to find the link to get onto this meeting. Believe it or not.
All
Look
right.
at that. Even that one's backwards. This program does not like my platforms.
Of course not.
Are you on the naughty list? What? I think you're just overtaxed
Holy
here.
moly.
You're
I don't know. Hey. Besides, I finally got my cold for the first time in like 9 months. And, when you're busy, and then you slow down, well, that's when it says, hey, he's slowing down for a minute. We can give him a cold. So did everybody have a wonderful Christmas?
Yes, indeed. Absolutely
Wonderful.
fantastic. Yeah.
It went well until I got the phone call.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys. Is my background backwards for you, or is it just backwards for me?
It's backwards.
Yeah, you can go into settings and your video, and there's a mirror option that you just click. There we go. Got it.
Hey.
Look at that.
So I finally got my new background made, promoting the Warriors Beacon of Hope. On one side is the list of services, and one side is the list of meetings. When I typed in about 3 hours ago, I finally got finished a couple meetings, got caught up on a couple of videos, and I said, hey, let's type in warrior meetings or veteran meetings. You would think one would pop up. Not even one would pop up.
Yeah,
that is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, it is, because it really signifies how much the veteran community is dismissed.
Right.
You're filling a big void, Santa. We're
Well,
glad.
I'm really starting to see that, and I'm talking to people, even to develop this list so we can get to meetings to keep the communication. And Brian, you emphasize communication every time we're on this meeting, and how important it is to keep the communication factor open to not only veterans, but to families of veterans. And we really need to emphasize that there is meetings all over this country, but if people cannot find them, then we found a very bad niche in the communication factor that needs to be worked.
Brother, I'm in full agreement. Hence, volunteer at projectdiehard.org. If you want to represent Project DieHard at a weekly meeting with families and things of that nature, feel free. Join the team. Okay? I would love personally to spend all day talking to my brothers and sisters, but I can't.
Right.
Because
Brian, did Kurt show you the video I sent to him?
Yeah.
About the breakfast?
I think so. I think I remember that. Again, Santa Papa John is doing his part, folks. You go to his website, we're linked. You actually go to that website, go down, you'll find us in Kentucky, and that will lead you back to Kurt.
There you go. I'm here for you.
Oh,
At
showing part.
262-372-1754.
Again, folks, I'm not being rude. I'm not being facetious. I make this time for this podcast because you guys deserve a weekly update. You do. Full transparency. But rolling into 2025, I'm really going to be enforcing, if you want my time, one of my leadership team has to say, hey, Brian, this person wants your time. Just that simple.
is not stupid. Now I'm gone.
Santa disappeared. He's a magician.
I disappeared.
He is a magic trick. Well, and we are at the end here. I do want to give everybody a chance to just say a final thought here with providing hope to our veterans. Kurt, would you like to go ahead and begin tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I want to, reflect on 2024 as well. The topic that just sticks out in my mind is as I learned about church hurt and about adverse experiences veterans can actually have at a faith-based experience. So it's very, very interesting, the odd relationship that we have with all of out there. And so my proposition is to celebrate the good news that Project DieHard is here. We're Santa approved. We got videos about the breakfast and everything about Debbie Hayes, and how we do have a nucleus group, I'll call it, that is here to emerge to be in this great service and an imperative service. It's about saving the lives of veterans, and if you're that veteran, we are here to save you and help keep you alive and help this fight against the demons. We want to renounce the demons and to break loose anything that demons have on your life. So my final thoughts are, we enjoy doing this show. We find it rewarding. It's to serve veterans out there. And so if you're in this time and you're in this dark place, we hope somehow in this hour we've given you a glimmer of hope and light. And just like that lighthouse there with that little, light from the lighthouse, we hope we did a little bit of that in this hour for you. Thank you for watching and listening. Back to you.
Awesome. To Santa Papa John for a final thought as well. Santa?
Well, folks, it's as easy as this. The communication is key, and you don't lock yourself up into a box. Communicate with fellow brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, even you and Brian, myself, whoever. Reach out to us. Do not give up. There is hope. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We care about you. We love you. And that's why I'm putting this whole new website together for meetings and services. But DieHard, they are Santa approved. They are on the list. We're going to get them on the list so that they can publicize this meeting every Monday. And regardless of the day of the week, where you are in this amazing country of ours, just because the government has forgotten about you sometimes, that doesn't mean we have forgotten about you. We care about you. We love you. We're here for you. We will talk to you regardless of the time of the day. I don't care. That leaves you, Brian. Yes, Suja had to jump off.
Well, she's in the McDonald's parking lot. That's dedication.
Yes.
And she's back.
And she's back.
All right, guys, it's my turn. Real simple, brothers and sisters. God saved a sinner like me. A low down, dirty sinner like me. Imagine what he's going to do for you. Don't give up. Have hope. We're in the fight. If you need help, reach out. If you can help, reach out. When veterans work together, guys, more brothers and sisters are saved. Not all of you need the services we offer. Praise be to God to that. But I need you guys to help me to help our brothers and sisters.
Excellent. Thank you guys so much for being here tonight. I hope I'm coming back through okay here. It's all about connecting, right? Even on this small demonstration of connection matters. Really, connection matters. Reach out to all of your vets that you know. Check your vet, text them, call them, go see them in person. It makes a difference. We are here with Project DieHard Mission Monday update every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Central. So glad to have you all here tonight. And as always, we thank you.